Hello everyone and welcome back to You Can Call Me Joshua. This is the 21st Travel Diary video! In my last video we continued our drive to New York from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania up to Morristown, New Jersey. So I suggest go checking that out. The date is Sunday, December 3rd, 2017, and the time is 8:30 a.m. Currently, I am in Morristown, New Jersey at one of my mom's friends' houses. We have stayed here for about 4 days. My mom's friend's name is Christine, and they have known each other ever since 3rd grade, which is hard to think about. Christine is married to Chris, and they all live together here in this house. If you don't already know, Morristown has a lot of historical backgrounds. During the Revolutionary War, George Washington had his headquarters here, and it's still here as a national park. And there's a lot of other places with history of Morristown, including some places outside of Morristown. The first day, which was when we got there, we got settled into our rooms and then we hanged out with them. But then I started to feel nauseous and felt sick. And so I went to bed early that day. The next day I still didn't feel good and we were going to explore the town that day. And then during lunch, we went out to a place called the Artist Baker. And that's where we had lunch. And then we continued walking around Morristown. There were many statues around the town, and we noticed that a lot of the statues had hats and scarves, which is unusual because they didn't usually have hats and scarves on. And then Christine told us that if anyone needs a hat, they can take one off the statue, because whoever put there for free. And you'll see like a little tag on it that says like, "Take me," which is really funny. One statue of the guy who his name was Morristown, or Morris, and that's what the town's named after. And he had a hat and scarf, and it said, and the hat or scarf said, "Take me," and it was from this company, which was really funny. And then there were 3 other statues of George Washington, Lafayette, and Alexander Hamilton, all wearing hats and scarves. And we noticed about their height too. George Washington was actually really tall, and then Lafayette was, just a little bit shorter, but Alexander Hamilton was tiny, like really tiny, like only a few inches higher than me, which is really interesting. After we walked around the town a little more, we went back to the car because I started not feeling good again. But there was one more activity, or one more event that was happening, and it was a tree lighting at a Hyatt Regency. When we got there, we were greeted by a choir of kids from all ages, and they were singing Christmas carols. They had all the kids gather around the Christmas tree that they had set up, and they had them do a countdown from 5, and in 5 seconds, it was lit. And then everyone took pictures, and then they had everyone go into another room where they had a whole dinner buffet. And also they had Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. And so, after a while of talking and hanging out, we went back home, and I got ready for bed and went to sleep. The next day was a pretty big day. The next day, my mom and I went over to Edison's laboratory and home. Now, Thomas Edison. He's the one who created the light bulb, including thousands of many other inventions. And my mom and I actually got to go to his laboratory and see inside his home, which was amazing. Edison's laboratory and home is actually a national park. And we got to see all his furniture, and everything from the laboratory and the house is all the same except for clothes and light bulbs. And then after that, we went back home, and then we got ready for bed And now, here we are. Our next destination is, drum roll please, New York! It's about an hour drive over to New York, and we're staying at the Eveline Hotel, which is in the middle of New York City in Manhattan, and we're staying there for 5 days. So we're packing everything up and getting ready for our big day. So, without further ado, here is a clip of my journey over to New York City. I've always wanted to say that. We are beginning our drive over to New York City, and it's about 1 hour until we get there. So we just went through our first toll booth, and now we're gonna go through the Holland Tunnel. You won't believe this. We can now see New York City! It just came into view. So we just paid our toll, and we're getting close to the tunnel. We are now going through the Holland Tunnel, which will take us over to Manhattan Island. You can also get there by one of the bridges, but we're going through the tunnel. We are officially in New York! There's the Empire State Building. We are now turning on Madison Avenue, which is a famous street. This is it. We are now in New York City. Thank you very much for watching. You can click over here to see my last travel diary video, and you can click over here to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.